so continuing along, we're actually going to pop it into the Sport Plus setting. And, well, hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the all-new 2023 Hyundai Sonata N Line. First and foremost, though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Murdoch Hyundai here in Linden, Utah for giving me some time with this Sonata N Line. This particular one is available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below. You can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. It is a wet dual clutch if you're wondering. Fuel economy is 23 around town and then 33 on the highway, with power outputs being 290 horsepower and then 311 pound-feet of torque, giving this a 0 to 60 time of just 5.3 seconds. Let's go over the front end of the N Line. So first off, you guys can see we have this chrome trim that actually connects with the daytime running light, and it's pretty cool, the effect that you get where it kind of like slowly turns on basically. And then you guys can see here with the LED headlights, and then notice all of the black accenting, and then obviously the whole grille is all blacked out. And then you got the N Line logo there with the Hyundai logo front and center. And aside from the N Line logo, this thing's pretty much a sleeper. Like it looks like, you know, again, the blacked out accents make it look a little bit sporty, but it pretty much looks like any other Sonata. Coming around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 245/40/19 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see the design on the wheels here for the N Line. I think they look really cool. You've got that silver on the top and it's kind of like darker below that. And look at the silver caliper, kind of cool with that accent piece. Of course, we got another N Line logo here on the side. And also look at that little venting right there. Notice the mirror cap blacked out. We got chrome here on top of the door handles. And then all the trim around the windows is like mostly blacked out except that little piece there in the rear, which is kind of interesting. But anyways, here is the full side view. So here's a key fob for the Sonata N Line. We've got our Hyundai logo there on the back. We have our lock function, unlock, the opening here for the trunk, and then the remote start function. So just hold this and the trunk will pop right open. Notice we have these pull tabs so you can lower down the seats to give you more storage space. But as this stands, this already has a ton of storage space here in the rear. And that's one of the benefits of the Sonata since it's a slightly larger size sedan. Anyways, when you're all done, just, well, there we go. Wait, third time's the charms. Okay, well that was embarrassing. Apparently I don't know how to close trunks, but anyways, I got it closed. That you have to like fully latch it. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Anyways, we have the cool light bar effect here with the Sonata. Notice we got the Sonata logo there at the bottom, and then I love how this is like blacked out here at the top, and then it kind of continues into the spoiler section. And then down below you guys can see here for the cover over the exhaust tips, and then notice the diffuser, and by the way it is also on the other side so it's all even. And there's the outside. Let me know what you guys think about it. Also, look how the roof is black. I think that's also pretty cool. So there is some wrapping here from the factory still on this car, so just bear with me on that. But anyways, you guys can see here with the contrasted red stitching down below and the padding on the armrest, and again, more contrasted red stitching throughout. I think it looks cool, and it's kind of cool to see kind of behind the scenes with the plastic wrapping. Now this is actually metallic trim that goes to the door handle. It's the same color as the door handle. And then we have, well, yes, our plastic wrapped seats. But as you can see, we've got the inserts here at the center of the seat and then down below, and then again more of that red stitching, which is pretty cool. Popping in, ooh, I feel like I'm at someone's grandma's house that has like everything covered up so that like it doesn't get damaged. We got vents there, we got the USB port down below, got our good old-fashioned cup holder armrest there in the center, but very spacious back here, by the way, like really spacious. Let's head to the front. So here's the front door panel. It's identical to the rear. So you have like that gray color all over, again, that strip that goes to the door handle, and then with the red stitching and the padding down below. Blind spot monitoring for the mirrors. We have all of our window controls right here, and then the mirror adjustments. Speaker for the Bose sound system and down below. And then here are the front seats. Sorry about my shadow there. I'll duck down so you guys can see a little bit better. So we got the N logo there, and again, look at the insert here in the center of the seat, and then down below. Looks really high quality. We do have our power adjustments here on the side of the seat, and then the pedal layout, which is actually really nice. Look at this is the trim that's on the pedals right there. And then you can see here with the parking brake, not lane departure, stability control rather, opening for the trunk. The lane departure is actually up there, funny enough. Steering wheel is manually adjustable. Let's pop in. So here's the steering wheel for the Sonata N Line. You guys can see really nice material use all around. Notice it's perforated here on the sides, so you can get a slightly better grip. Love how you've got the N logo there at the bottom. And this trim here is pretty cool. Really nice paddle shifters there on the back of the steering wheel. And then we got like our voice command, volume controls, some controls for the center stack. This does have cruise control as well as steering assistance. We have our turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, and there's the steering wheel. Now we have our full digital gauge cluster here. So first off, we can scroll through some different menus to see different bits of info on the car and different things like you guys saw with the compass, for example. But the fun trick is the drive modes. So notice when you go from normal to sport, it changes. And then we have a Sport Plus as well. And then you've got your custom mode, which, well, hence the name, it sets up how you want it to be. But yeah, there's the gauge cluster. So here's our center infotainment screen. First off, if we pop it into reverse, we do have a backup camera with two drive lines that turn with the steering wheel, and I guess we can change the viewpoint. Yeah, a little bit. You can like zoom in, that's pretty cool. Anyways, you got the analog controls there on either side of the screen. We got cutouts for that, trust me, it works. I guess the screen's mad at me for all the stuff I'm pressing. But anyways, response time is fantastic. It's easy to use, you can pair your phone to it. Other than that, I mean, it's an infotainment screen. So down below we have our vents here with the hazard light button, and then you guys can see on the dash with the padding and the stitching. And then we have our dual zone climate controls, heated seats here for the front as well. Then you guys can see with the USBs, and notice the wireless phone charging pad. We have all of our buttons here for the gear selection, so pretty straightforward with that. And then we've got another N logo. You guys can see here with our drive mode select, auto hold right next to that, and then we have a pretty normal center console. Notice the red stitching continues, it's all over. You can't escape it. There's a glove box, and we have a panoramic sunroof here at the top. This is nice. Like, it's a nice luxury car feature to have, that's for sure. Control for the sunroof right there, and yeah. So here's our window sticker for this Sonata N Line. You guys can see with the warranty, we have a 5-year, 60,000 mile new vehicle warranty, 10-year, 100,000 mile on the powertrain, and then all of the rest of the standard equipment. And you can see base MSRP, $34,325. Total MSRP, $36,300. Well, let's drive the front wheel drive burnout machine. You'll understand in a second. Start by visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors just do have blind spot monitoring. Run throughout the rest of the rear, and let's set off. Setting off in the N Line, and I think it's so cool when dealers let me film cars before they have like gotten them fully unwrapped. I know that some people are going to be like, oh, you should have waited for it to get unwrapped, but it's kind of like a cool experience because it gives you like a behind the scenes look in terms of what a car looks like at, you know, after it's delivered from the factory, which I don't know, I feel like there's something that's a little bit, you know, special to that. But anyways, as for how the N Line drives, really smooth. Like, this feels frankly like a luxury car. It's really comfortable. It's quiet as well, actually. But the biggest thing I'm noticing is like the suspension is very compliant. Like, it feels really good. Now, this dual clutch definitely doesn't feel as dual clutchy as the Kona N that I have this week. So Hyundai sent me that as like a demo vehicle, and that is like, you can definitely tell it's dual clutch. This, on the other hand, you can tell that with the tuning they have, it's a little bit more on the refined, like, luxury side. So they've tried to make this dual clutch feel less dual clutchy, which is always an interesting thing. It's always an interesting thing to see the differences. But let's see how it performs coming to a stop here. I know it seems like a weird test, but dual clutches sometimes will do weird things when you come to a full stop. No, it's not. So I can still tell because I review enough cars that it's a dual clutch, but I think that if you threw your average Joe in this, they probably would not know, unless this, you know, Hyundai salesperson said, hey, it's got a dual clutch. Okay, so continuing along, we're actually gonna pop it into the Sport Plus setting. And, well, now you guys are going to understand why this gets the title of the front-wheel drive burnout machine. whatever you want to say. So I'm gonna get on it here. It's fast. It definitely takes a second to put down the power though. Like, look, I'll pop it into the manual setting here. Like even like already moving, it kind of goes through the tires a little bit. So my recommendation, ease into the throttle with this. Ease into the throttle. But it's still really fun. So summing things up here with the Sonata N Line. First off, wow, that Palisade has had a sad life. Look at that thing. It must have gotten in an accident. I think it looks really cool on the outside. Interior is also fantastic. I know a lot of it's covered in plastic, but like the parts you can see, like it's a good looking interior. And then from a ride quality perspective, it's really comfortable and full on luxury car. Seriously, like they've done a really good job with the overall tuning here with the Sonata N Line. And so if you basically want a fun luxury daily driver that doesn't command a luxury car price, that's kind of what this feels like to me. Is it's kind of like that luxury performance side. Now, one thing I will say is I'm hoping that Hyundai will do the limited slip differential with this, like they do have on the full-on N cars. I don't know if they're going to just reserve that for full-on N cars, but that would help out quite a bit with the Sonata N Line, with that whole it doesn't really torque steer too much, but like, you know, the whole wheel spin thing where it's trying to figure its life out with putting down the power. But let me know what you guys think about the new N Line. I think it's an absolute blast to drive. That's gonna sum things up for our video here on this Sonata N Line. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Murdoch Hyundai here in Linden, Utah for giving me some time with this Sonata. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see ya.